NASA's telescopes just spotted something impossible, a blood-red object the size of a small mountain slicing through the darkness between Mars and Jupiter. Officially, it's cataloged as 3I/ATLAS, only the third confirmed interstellar visitor ever seen in our solar system, but the deeper astronomers look, the less sense it makes. When Atlas first appeared on wide-field survey cameras, it was faint and unremarkable, like countless other comets cataloged each year. Its path suggested it would skim past Mars on a harmless flyby before fading into the void. Then, within days, everything changed. A massive crimson glow bloomed around the object, stretching for dozens of miles, like a heartbeat pulsing against the black. Spectrographs registered wavelengths that didn't match any known cometary material. Even more unsettling, the light wasn't constant. It pulsed in deliberate intervals, almost like a coded signal. The pulses lined up with prime number sequences, a pattern vanishingly rare in nature. Inside NASA control rooms, chatter turned tense. Was this an artifact of measurement, a trick of scattered sunlight, or was the universe whispering in numbers? To the public, NASA offered reassurance. Comets can behave strangely. Outgassing jets can make them brighten, spin, even flicker. But in private emails and late-night meetings, scientists admitted this behavior was unprecedented. The crimson hue alone was baffling. No interstellar object, not even the famous Oumuamua, had ever displayed a sustained red glow of this intensity. As the object neared Mars's orbit, mission planners noticed something else. Its trajectory wasn't bending under the planet's gravity as much as expected. The numbers suggested either a mass far lower than models predicted, or some unseen force counteracting the pull. A few voices, hesitant but growing louder, suggested propulsion. Within the European Southern Observatory, Dr. Elena Corvez warned colleagues to avoid sensationalism. Nature is often stranger than fiction, she said, but that doesn't make it intelligent. Still, even Corvez admitted privately that the pulse pattern gnawed at her. In a leaked audio clip, a researcher can be heard whispering, "If this is just ice and rock, it's behaving like it has orders." Online forums and amateur astronomers amplified every leak. Social media feeds filled with theories. An alien scout probe, a fragment of a lost interstellar civilization, a disguised artificial construct. Others mocked the idea, comparing it to Oumuamua, which turned out, at least officially, to be a natural shard of cosmic debris. Then came the blackout. For 12 whole minutes during a scheduled tracking window, every instrument pointed at ATLAS lost its signal. When it reappeared, the object's brightness had surged tenfold. NASA explained it as a rotation effect, or a burst of outgassing exposing fresh ice. But to those watching closely, the timing felt intentional, almost theatrical. The Space Force quietly raised its alert level and retasked classified satellites. Analysts at Project Sentinel, a shadowy group tasked with tracking unconventional space threats, began modeling scenarios. What if ATLAS was actively maneuvering? What if its crimson halo wasn't gas but an energy field? Meanwhile, ordinary people on Earth looked skyward. Amateur astronomers pointed backyard telescopes capturing shaky but vivid images of a scarlet ember against the stars. YouTubers dissected each frame, some arguing they could see structured edges within the glow. Hashtags like #CrimsonVisitor and #AtlasProbe trended worldwide. The possibility of first contact, something that had lived only in science fiction for generations, suddenly felt tangible. Yet skepticism remained. Veteran astronomer Dr. Maria Renko cautioned that confirmation bias is powerful. We are wired to see intention in randomness. A spinning rock can look like a signal if you stare long enough. As Atlas plunged closer to the sun, its activity intensified. Jets of vapor erupted, twisting into filaments that almost resembled antennae. The pulse pattern stabilized rather than becoming chaotic, as would be expected from a tumbling comet. Radio telescopes registered faint microwave emissions, right at frequencies some scientists have proposed as optimal for interstellar communication. Even so, NASA's official line didn't budge. There is no evidence of alien technology. Atlas is behaving as a comet under solar heating, but the private mood among some mission scientists was different, more cautious, even anxious. Speculative theories blossomed. The lighthouse hypothesis suggested Atlas was never intended for us. It was a beacon, perhaps triggered by our solar system crossing an invisible galactic boundary. Another theory, dubbed the Harbinger, proposed that ATLAS wasn't alone, that smaller, undetectable devices might already be dispersing through the solar system. Some suggested the pulse was a test, an alien civilization measuring our reaction, watching to see whether humanity would respond with curiosity, fear, or aggression. The implications were staggering. Then a minor but eerie event deepened the mystery. A tiny perturbation in the orbit of a nearby asteroid occurred precisely as ATLAS passed its closest approach. The shift was too small to alarm planetary defense networks, but just large enough to raise eyebrows. Was this merely a gravitational interaction, or did ATLAS exert control over its environment? Despite all the speculation, the most grounded possibility remains mundane: a natural interstellar object behaving in unexpected but explainable ways. Exotic ices, unknown rotational dynamics, or unusual composition could all contribute to its odd appearance. History is full of apparent cosmic mysteries that dissolved under better data, yet even hardened skeptics admit that ATLAS's combination of features, the crimson glow, the prime number pulses, the gravitational anomaly, makes it one of the strangest visitors we've ever tracked. For now, every major observatory is locked on target. The James Webb Space Telescope is analyzing its spectrum at incredible precision, searching for molecules that might explain the glow. Ground-based radar arrays are mapping its shape, hoping to see whether its outline suggests a natural fragment or something engineered. Amateur stargazers continue to share their observations, creating a global, crowdsourced watch. As Atlas streaks sunward, it carries our collective hopes and fears. Maybe it's just another cosmic wanderer, a messenger of natural beauty, reminding us how little we know. Maybe it's a probe, evidence that we are not alone, silently taking notes on a young species clinging to a blue world. The universe is under no obligation to make its mysteries simple. Whatever Atlas turns out to be, its crimson heartbeat has already changed us. It has reignited debates in labs and living rooms alike about the possibility of other minds in the cosmos. It has made governments quietly consider the unthinkable, and it has drawn millions of ordinary people outside at night, craning their necks toward the stars, united by wonder. As it slips past our sun and back into the interstellar dark, perhaps it will reveal its secrets. A flare of gas, a subtle maneuver, a final pulse of numbers, or perhaps it will leave us with nothing but questions, an unsolved riddle glowing red against infinity. And maybe that's the point, because somewhere, far beyond our reach, there could be watchers waiting to see whether we notice the knock on the cosmic door. And now, for the first time in a long while, humanity is listening.